broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Yes! That familiar song can mean only one thing, everybody. It's time for the GH Report here on AfterBuzz TV. Hi, everybody. I'm Frank Moran here with James Lott Jr. Sorry, you're missing out. I get to share these two lovely ladies all of myself this week here. Right here, immediately to my left is...
Lacretia Lyon, and that's spelled Lacretialyon. If you don't add an S to any of my name, you'll probably find me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and now Snapchat. I think I figured out how to use it.
Hi guys, you can find me. I'm Ladine Harvey. You can find me on Twitter at Ladine_Harvey.
All right, and you can find me on Twitter at HappyGoJackie. Now, we're all here. As usual, we come together every Sunday to break down the latest goings-on here in Port Charles.
Yes.
But you can do your part as well. You can follow us on Facebook. You can like us on iTunes and YouTube as well. Hashtag GH Report. Hashtag ABTV GH Report. As James says, anytime you put just a GH Report in there, it's going to find us. A lot of great stuff happened this week, and a lot of ridiculous stuff here happened as well. We're going to... comment on all of it. Feel free to get on it as well, though, by coming out of the chat room. Let your thoughts be known here as well. Lacretia is going to be sharing those along the way as well. So first off, let's just kick it off. We'll start off here as the beginning of the week started here with Franco, Nina. We'll throw Maxie and Dylan with this because we have a little Crimson tie-in as well. Started off hot this week. I know Ladine was very excited about that hot makeout scene between Franco and Nina.
Finally.
Yes.
It finally happened. Like, we've been waiting for this for a long time, and I almost thought that it wasn't going to happen. But I'm glad that we finally crossed that bridge.
Yeah, and honestly, this is what love scenes should be on soaps. To me, the build-up, everything about it was just beautiful. It's like,
sensual.
They're so sweet.
Yes.
But I also felt like it was, I don't know why they dragged their heels a little bit, because like her excuses were the same ones we've already brought up before and we've already talked about, and yet...
But I think that's the beautiful part. Like, we as women, we do that. We try to find every reason, knowing that that's something that we probably want, but we try to shy away from it, so we keep saying the same thing over and over again, just wanting the man to probably just take charge. So I'm glad that it happened.
Oh, yeah. Franco took charge. There we go.
Yeah.
We had the sweet slow jams playing.
Yeah.
Yes. And everybody seemed really happy about that.
Yes.
Nina was on board there. She's like, all right, let's keep going.
I know.
Yeah.
Round 2.
But now, as successful as Nina was there in the bedroom, she did have a little problem this week, though, with Crimson.
Yeah.
Although I loved how she turned it around, I gotta say. And Nina's really coming into her own. And I like the partnership that her and Maxie and Dylan have, because it's nice to see people work together and not hate on one each other. Everyone's like, oh, thank you. Oh, it's nice. And then, there's a disaster. But guess what? Nina turned it around.
I was actually, like, before they were saying that it's going to go downhill, I was saying to myself, why can't they just use it?
Use it, yeah.
Like, it doesn't look that bad. I mean, I was looking at the magazine, like, it looks pretty awesome to me. So I'm glad that they turned it around.
Although I don't know why Nina's not quick picking up on it now. And anytime something terrible happens, let's just get Julian to give us more money. That's all we got to do. And then Julian's always going to go by, I can't.
Sorry. It's out of the budget.
It's out of the budget.
You're going to have to use your own money,
I think
basically.
they just have her say that just so Julian can have something to do, to come in there and be like, the bad guy. No, you can't have more money.
Just so we can know he's in charge of Crimson.
Oh, yeah. So now, I mean, they got the idea. They're gonna spin it. They're gonna embrace it. Say that this is the idea all along. Do you see this working out?
Yeah. Honestly, the way that people are nowadays about going green, and, if they think they did it on purpose, they're going to be like, oh, that's brilliant, even though it's clearly just screwed
Right.
up. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, especially that industry, the fashion art industry. They're going to be like, oh, marvelous.
And I feel like
Franco's going to be like, brilliant idea. We should have it in the gallery.
And I feel like it has to work because otherwise that storyline's just dead in the water. Then Crimson goes belly up, and then Julian sells
and they're
it off,
not going to let that happen.
No. So they got to ruin Julian's day.
That's true.
Now, I guess we'll just jump over briefly as because we're talking about Julian. I guess he had a little mini victory this week, but I got to take time and we got to talk about just the weirdest thing that happened in Julian's life this week. Olivia comes over, bringing her big photo that they took.
Put it on the fireplace.
Yeah.
Brings a photo of Olivia, Julian, and Leo, all in those ugly Christmas sweaters, in the hugest framed picture you can possibly imagine, and brings it over to Alexis'
I'm sorry,
house.
if I was Alexis, I would have said, girl, you better take that picture out of my house. And she trying to put it in the most visible area.
I know.
Are you kidding me?
It's like, Olivia, are you really just trying to irritate Alexis? Like, because that would be funny. But if you really think that was okay to bring that over and put it in, I mean, it's Alexis's house that Julian got for her. I'm like, if you're trying to piss her off, I'm like, okay with it because it's funny. But yeah, this whole.
All right, GH writers, we need someone for Olivia.
Yeah,
I know,
absolutely.
please
she
bring
has
back
to
Ned.
go.
Yeah.
She's intruding a little bit too much.
Yeah, I love Olivia, but she needs something else to do besides annoy Alexis about this Julian thing.
Well, you would think because it's not her first child. She's had Dante. I mean, so I could understand. I might be able to excuse all that if it's her first child, and that's it. And she's really just kind of going overboard. But you've already been down this path already, Olivia. You already had a kid. Why are you acting so weird?
But look how old Dante is, though. She's had a long time.
She's forgotten all about that.
Some parents can, need that refreshment of how to be a parent all over again.
I guess.
Because it's been so many years, so she's probably in that excitement stage, maybe. I don't know.
Well, yeah, because you look at Ava and how her and Olivia both are older women with new babies and basically adult kids, and you're like, maybe they should hang out. Oh, wait, Connie.
Now, we also have, too, that Olivia gets mad at Alexis when Alexis happens to just show her the wedding ring or the engagement ring on her finger. And then very mad that Julian did not run this by Olivia before it happened. What was that all about?
Get out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm someone who loves Olivia because I love Lisa, but the thing is...
But, seriously.
What is with that? Why do you think he would run that by you?
No, that's what I was about to say. Seriously, why?
Yeah.
Why does he have to tell you every move that he does?
Yeah, just because...
Because she wants her family.
Yeah.
Yeah, and her rationale is like, well, anything that Julian does affects me, since we share a child. Well, but I like Alexis's points that we're already living together. We're doing everything exactly the same way. We're just making it official.
Right.
You're gonna be Leo's stepmom now. All right. Okay. Sure. Okay. We got that. So I don't know what's happening with Olivia. I'm very, very concerned about her.
Yeah, the Falconaries need to check themselves.
But speaking of weddings, another big storyline this week. Oh boy, Robin and Jason finally tie the knot. Wow. That. Oof. Again, I guess tie the knot again. Third time? I guess
Patrick,
it's the third time.
Robin and
Robin and Patrick. Yes. I said Robin and Jason. Oh my gosh.
They did have some scenes.
I got so excited about that. Whoop. That's right. Yep. It's not. Yep. Just in my head, I was like, that would probably have been a better scene.
A little bit. I said, wait, hold on, Frank.
Robin and Patrick.
Frank, what are you talking about?
I was like, hold on.
I wanted, because I think that would have been a more interesting one. Yes. Thank you. That would have been much more interesting than probably what we've gotten. But what we got was Robin and Patrick, and one of the just the biggest wastes of a lot of great actors.
I was just going to say, I would have rather them not do the wedding and just head on out. It was just so last minute. I just didn't like it.
Yeah, honestly, the wedding scene, what I did like is them giving their vows to Emma. That was really sweet. But the rest of it was just like, seriously, why wasn't it just a going away party? Because we didn't need to see them get married. We would know they would, because they should be together. I mean, they've always been each other's soulmates. It's not like something, we needed to have another wedding. They had a great one, and they had the other one with Emma.
I mean, that was,
agree with you. The renewing the vows, Yeah,
and I mean, I guess the idea is like, all right, well, they're leaving the show, so let's just one big farewell, and we get all these other characters that are really important, but you give none of these great actors. You get Tristan Rogers, you get John J. Yorick, you get Kristen Wagner. None of them.
Good, like with some substance to exit. You know what I mean?
And Felicia
a wedding.
Just sat there, said nothing.
Yeah, just sat there looking pretty, like she's a 20-year-old
It was
girl.
a waste of a scene. I think
I felt so bad. I was like, well, you got to give her more than that if you're going to bring her on for the day. But no, so I mean, so now they're married.
Thanks.
This whole story, and we talked a little bit about this last week too. This storyline has been so accelerated that it just becomes so unbelievable.
Yeah, and to me, it's just like there was a lot of stuff that needed to be said that wasn't with the Liz situation. But I will say I was pleasantly surprised by how they both talked to Sonny and Carly. Like Carly thanking Robin was a good part of the wedding. But yeah, to me, the wedding almost took away from what they could have done, and coming up and all the closure with all these other characters that they should have had instead of the wedding.
Right.
So it just wasted a lot of screen time. But at least they do get a happy ending. Like them going off in their new adventure, the three of them, was worth it. I was like, yeah.
I would have loved to see more with Robin and Sonny. That little brief moment.
Yes.
I would have loved to seen more like that wedding though.
No, it was. I mean, and it started off. I mean, I guess Robin's week started, and she did have the intention of staying in Port Charles. Wanted to get her job back.
She didn't even have a wedding dress.
No. But Maxie found her something. That's why you reach out to Maxie. She can make it happen that fast.
I'm sorry.
But I mean, I guess because they're leaving the show, they had to come up with some reason. But just the fact that Obert was like, we can't. We don't do research anymore. No more funding.
Yeah, and Stormy says this, and I agree. She was bummed that Maxie and Robin didn't really have anything of importance. Because, Maxie and Robin's relationship was almost as close as Maxie and Georgie's. Robin was their big sister to them. And, to really just gloss over that. And same thing, like, Robin and Sonny needed more than they got. Because that's actually, to me, my favorite relationship Sonny has is with Robin. He really does care about her.
You could clearly see that, too.
No, and that was really nice. And I mean, just to really not have any good scenes with Mac at all. I mean, Felicia, that would have been nice too, but with Mac, I mean, Mac is like your second father. And for him to just come out, well, guess what? Guess who got ordained?
The internet. Like, I did love when we got to see John J. Gork's comedy with his little minister scenes, but it was still like, okay, Mac and Robin needed an emotional goodbye because, he's the one that was there when she got diagnosed with HIV. I mean, in all these important events in her life, like Patrick, Mac was there, even more so than Anna.
Yeah. Although, I mean, it feels weird that we're talking about it in this context because it's really Patrick who's leaving the show. Yes. I mean, Robin just came back to help him out, but I mean, this is Patrick leaving, and there was no big touchstones.
There was nothing about Patrick much of anything. It was more so about Robin going to say hi to everyone, or it was poorly done, in my opinion.
Because it really should have been more on Patrick as well, because it's not. But as this is one of Jason Thompson's complaints, is that Patrick really wasn't considered a character on his own. He was always just Robin's husband, the father of Robin's daughter. I mean, and that's what he felt like, because even with the relationship with Sam, that storyline was great, but it was doomed from the start because we all knew Jason was coming back.
Right.
And I mean, the fact is his exit wasn't even about him.
No, I mean, and at least, because one thing I did like when Robin was off the campus and you still had Patrick there is that they did develop a nice relationship between him and Anna. And I thought that was really nice. And they just, other than that one nice little touch at the end before they left, I mean, I would have liked to see a little bit more between the two of them before we left, because I thought that was a really good relationship.
Right.
Yeah, and I really liked their last scene together with Finola and Jason, because you felt like those were real tears. Because, I mean, they really did have that great mother-son relationship, because, Patrick's mother died. So, I mean, Anna kind of became a mother to him, even when Robin was gone. And that was really nice to see, but yeah, it was not enough to me.
Yeah, you couldn't even get Rick Springfield back just for a little quick. I mean, if you can get the rest of them, why not get Rick in there, too?
Yeah, Dr. Noah Drake.
Yeah, no, we couldn't get him back either. So, I mean, I guess as with all things with the storyline, very quickly they get a job all the way in Berkeley. They decide we got to get going, but Emma decides you guys got to be married before we leave Port Charles. That's it, and we get the dog.
I guess this shows why he's leaving.
Yes, so we got to go. So they are living their happily ever after. All the way in Berkeley, California, which Sonny makes it feel like it's like I'm never going to see you again, because it's like you can't say, I'll come out and visit you sometime. Nope, that's never mentioned. Like if you're ever back in town, what, you can't go over there, Sonny?
Yeah, I mean if you're in the wheelchair, you get to fly priority, Sonny.
But we get to see Emma's way to get back into the show. Anna gives her a plane ticket, a little return ticket to come back and see her sometime in Port Charles.
Yeah, I liked that.
No.
What? You don't
I didn't buy it.
You didn't buy it?
She got that plane ticket that quickly, and she just found out. Like, come on, like seriously, I didn't buy it. I was like, come on.
Come on, she's a former WSB.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. She's a spy.
You get those spy connections right there, man. You can make that happen. Didn't buy that as well.
I honestly think that they added that scene because most of us were upset that we're like, are we going to lose Emma too?
Right.
I mean, or is she going to come back like Robin has?
I knew
And,
she wasn't
yeah.
going to stay only because you see what Anna is trying to do
Yeah.
right now. So Anna's not going to have time to be watching over Emma. So I kind of knew that they were going to take her with them.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, and I did bring up the flub there that it was Robin and Jason's wedding. But I mean, Jason did show up, tricked the show up by Robin there. But this is the first time you really see Jason not really excited as usual about public appearances or being around a public crowd. But he stuck there for Robin. So even though she was on just a short time, I really kind of felt like she was a good way to kind of help him kind of just ease in and relax, being comfortable with his former identity.
Yeah, and I think that that's actually really good and a nod to history to have Robin be the one to kind of make Jason see that, you know, he wasn't just some hitman. There were good parts about Jason Morgan, too, and, like, their relationship was really one of the best, you know, until Sam, Robin was Jason's great love, just Jason Morgan. And so, yeah, to have him stay for her and still feel that connection really does show. And, you know, he started to have some memories of their relationship as well.
No, I like that. 'Cause I even like the conversation that happened with Jason and Sam as he was just kind of recounting that encounter with Robin, and just like it was a way to kind of open it up and show another side of Jason's life that he maybe felt like, oh, maybe I'm not a total jerk.
Yeah, because actually, you know, Robin and Sam and Jason and Patrick have always been interconnected because that's basically how Sam and Jason got together and Robin and Patrick got together. It was all because of Jason's injuries, you know, Patrick being there. So it was kind of nice to kind of tie that as in the four of them really had a good relationship. That's why it was kind of unfortunate that Robin nor Patrick got to really, you know, confront Liz on what she did to not only them, but, you know...
I like what
we'll
Kendra
see.
John said. She said Patrick had no POV at all.
That-
At all, like
Yeah.
zero.
That killed me during that scene with Liz, where they're reading at the reception, and
Yeah, he's
Patrick's
like,
like,
"Oh, thank you."
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're my best friend. I'll miss talking to you." Like, what?
Well, yeah, and that was the
doesn't-
thing, is he should have at least been the one to say something, because he and Emma were the ones suffering for this, yeah. And, I mean, I can get Robin because she wasn't involved, and as much as I was annoyed at that, not being there, she didn't get to see it. But Patrick felt it. He and
Exactly.
Emma were holding each other, crying, and that's the thing, is whether they had that
should
good
have touched
relationship
on it,
before.
even just a
yeah,
little
just
bit.
a little bit.
Yeah, but you would think that's. You would think that if we didn't know it, if we hadn't watched it, watching
what I
just
was thinking.
that week, you would not think that Patrick and Sam had ever been in a relationship at all.
Yeah, and to me, it's just like, other than the scenes last week with Patrick and Sam and their, you know, really good moment, yeah, you had no idea that had even happened, their relationship, you know, and Emma, you know, wanting Sam to be her mommy and then her mom coming back. So, yeah, it's like, oh, for Sam who?
I was thinking, I think last week I missed like 2 episodes watching last week, and I was going to ask you guys, did I miss something?
Yeah.
Did Patrick and Elizabeth talk about what happened? Because what I seen today, I was like, okay, I was thinking to myself, did he forgive her? Did they talk about it?
That was the first scene that they had since that all went down.
And that was just such a terrible way to, you know, because we all know it happened. Whether I did want Patrick and Robin and Emma to have a nice, happy ending. So if we could only have that or him blow up and leave because Liz is a bad friend, I would rather have a happy ending. But still, it's just like Liz has had no real consequences to her behavior other than Jason leaving her.
Right.
So, I mean, I'm sorry, her friends are leaving, but they obviously aren't mad at her.
No. And I thought there might be an awkward confrontation at the wedding
Yeah.
there. Sonny doesn't say anything. Carly doesn't say. I mean, they've already said.
I'm glad that they didn't make it
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
other people. So at least I'm happy about that.
Yeah, I give Carly credit for not making a scene.
Right.
No, but I did like as you were mentioning, the scene between Carly and Robin, and that nice little touchstone back to when Robin first left, and
Yeah.
Carly brought up, like, if you knew why I was leaving, you would be on your knees thanking me.
And yeah, to me, Carly and Robin scene was probably my favorite because it was like Carly actually saying she was wrong and owning it. I'm like, what? Is it cold in here? I was like, oh my God, that was the best scene. Carly admitting she's wrong. It never happens.
But even Robin admitting, like, oh,
No.
you're really good for Sonny.
Yeah, you really are. Yeah.
So, yeah, all right. This 5th time's a
Yeah.
charm, you guys. It'll work. I really believe in you guys.
And Ethel mentioned, why was Epiphany not there? Yeah, like, because Epiphany and Patrick and Robin were really
yeah.
close, especially Epiphany and Patrick, because she's the one that got Drake Jr. to quit moping around.
Like we said, there was a quick 1-2.
Yeah.
They tried to find a quick little exit for them.
Yeah.
Nothing too big.
No, that was and Tristan Rogers. Come on, you bring back Robert Scorpio just to stand there?
I know.
That's it.
Pretty much.
The worst. The worst. That whole wedding.
I thought you were feeling like you wanted to swear like James. You know,
Yeah.
James always feels like he wants to swear.
There, you put the black bar. Zach, put that black bar up around my mouth there. I'm gonna go off for a little while. All right. All right. So as we're talking about Jason, there, we've had some forward progress there with Jason's relationship with Sam.
Oh my God, this
Yes.
week it was the best week for
Yes.
Jason.
Whoa, my word! All right,
'Cause-
ladies, go.
When Jason came after the New Year's fun with Sam and immediately went to Jake, I was like, oh God, what? This is not how it is. And then it's like, no, he kept it all about Jake. Like, we need to talk about a formal custody agreement. That was Jason's best line since Billy Miller took over the role. Because I was like, oh yeah, he was just like, no, none of this. I'm going to sleep on the couch just for the kid. I mean, he kept telling her, nope, none of this is about you. And then that and you want to go for coffee? Jason
Yes.
is definitely winning this week. Hashtag.
I was thinking to myself, is it just me or does Sam always hurt her ankle in order to get in his arms?
It's not-
Oh.
I mean, I like it.
No, that was the
do.
worst.
It's
Her walking
cute.
up the
It's so
stairs.
cute. It's so cute.
Come on.
I don't know if you guys know, but Kelly Monaco is very well endowed. So falling over all the time, and being as skinny as she is, just happened.
She's so top heavy.
Yeah.
And then they mentioned that it happens once every year, and I'm
Yeah.
like, when you were at Nicola's house, it happened when you guys were breaking in.
This
so
happened 3
stop it.
times in the past
It
3
did.
months. Yeah, Cassidy Manor and Jake's, and then at their house or on the stairs. Like,
Right.
oh, come on.
I thought it was really adorable.
No way. Come on,
could
Jason,
not
get it
stop
together.
it.
This is. Man, she's just faking on you, Jason.
You
Stop
can
it.
get a few pointers from Jason Frank,
Oh yeah, sorry, I'm
maybe.
gonna start tripping on stairs, hoping somebody catches me. Oh, my leg, catch me.
Why do you think girls wear high heels? I mean, just so they can fall. And that's why they invented those.
Oh, all right. So now, but tying in, we've as much as Jason was hanging out with Sam, reconnecting though, drawn back as Lacretia was saying, back with Liz there because something's going on with Jake. What's going on with Jake?
I'm pretty sure, like his mother, he's lying to get Jason's attention.
You think so?
Oh yeah.
That's a pretty good prediction.
Well, I mean, Jake says that he saw somebody looking in the window. No, but the cops couldn't find anything. I'm feeling that is such a big point that they're making that it's got to be true. It's got to be true, and there's got to be some kind of cast iron thing involvement.
Right, just like the picture that was shattered. Like, I don't know.
I don't know. He's on Cassadine Island. He may have learned some tricks of the trade.
Even though they said it was like a man looking in the window, for some reason I was like, Helena's back. She's back.
Well, Liz brings in Jake to the hospital, and so then has another great relationship running with Franco. And I feel like Liz and Franco together, they're just two people that just like don't really care about the other one, and they let them know that constantly.
Right.
Yeah, and I really liked that interaction because I love how Franco brought up, so what's your deal with me? Oh, that Aiden thing? And then she's like, yeah, that was pretty horrible. And he's just like, yeah, whatever. I mean, Franco is actually becoming other than, because Roger's just delightful, but Franco's becoming one of the best characters on the show right now because him coloring with Jake and talking about his crazy patients was adorable.
I was thinking, even though I know we're going to do predictions
Yeah.
later, but I was like, it'll be awesome for little Jake to be his patient.
Definitely. I mean, and you see, I think it kind of starting right there when you see the drawings after
Right.
Jake leaves.
I thought that
and you see
was-
all those horrible drawings that he
I
drew.
could definitely see that. Or him wanting to be there for little Jake.
Well, yeah, because, he probably kind of sees a little bit of himself because, he thought he was a Quartermaine or whatever, and, was a part of Jason's family just like, Jake is and isn't. And, Jake's a little demented boy just like Franco was. So I'm sure he sees a little bit of himself there. And I hate that they haven't mentioned the fact with all these scenes with Franco is that Elizabeth was an artist, too.
Yes.
And then I was hoping that they would bring that into sort of like, give her character more to do than being in a relationship and being too involved in Jason and Sam and all their family. Because we could like Elizabeth again if she just left Jason alone.
Definitely. No, and I think it'd be great to just, even if she wasn't working with Franco doing art therapy, but if she was just doing this and Jake was doing painting, they were doing it together, and she's seeing all these weird images he's painting as well.
Yeah, that would be a great scene. I mean, because Liz is just now finally, after Laura said it for months, Liz is just now finally seeing that something might be wrong with her kid. Because she's, Liz
Unless she
is
always
a bad
knew
mother.
but was in denial about it.
Yeah, so I feel like looking at those drawings, I just think that it's more than just him being mad that Jason and Liz are not together anymore. I feel like there's something more Cassadine related, because those images were just like, ooh, okay. Oof, yeah. So I don't know how that's going to play out, but we'll save that for predictions.
What are they saying about it?
Oh, I love how someone said, can we mention the weird peek in the window by Liz while Jason was with Sam on their coffee date, Gabriella?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, like, we'll go. There's a great Italian place, Jake. Let's go to the Italian place.
Yeah.
Man.
I get it. Is that how Liz is going to be leading her life now in Port Charles? Always like peeking into like restaurants just to make sure?
Well, she is a stalker a bit. I mean, let's face it, the way she was obsessed with Jason and now that he finally is just done, she will. I mean, and that's why I say the only way to redeem Liz is to get her out of Jason's orbit. I mean, or make her a true full villain.
I don't know.
In it. Because I'm like, the victim thing just never goes with me. It's like, oh, Liz, you're not the victim. You did all this. And
she kind of digged a deep hole for me, so it's going to take a lot for her to come over that hill or for me to be on her side again.
Now, she wasn't alone in digging that hill, though. She had some help there with our good pal Nicholas Cassadine, who had a little bit of going on here this week, here, basically blackmailing Jason into saying...
I'm just hating him more and more.
I like Evil Nicholas because it's giving him something to do. And that was the thing, is Nicholas had always been kind of regaled to the side in the last couple of years. So at least making him a villain, just like I say with Liz, just go all in. Because Nicholas is a Cassadine. And, now that we know that Hayden might be connected to his past anyway, what is going to go there? Because their relationship is just almost disturbing at this point.
I'm liking that dimension, when Tracy brought up her past. I was like,
yes.
I'm liking what they're about to start doing with them, but I don't know about Nicholas.
No.
Honestly.
Already, I mean, it's taken so long since that incident happened that, again, we talked about this last week, that if I was a cop, I'd really be questioning any story that either Nicholas or Hayden told me about the incident that evening. Because it's like, guys, you've been sitting on this story for, almost 2 weeks. So, come on. Let's get it together, guys. So, but I love that Jason stands up to Nicholas, calls his bluff.
Yes.
Like, all right, if you can do that, go ahead. I don't.
Emily
brings up Emily. Boom.
I was like,
Yeah.
Yes, there it is, right there.
That was actually probably another Jason winning moment of this week because, yeah, to bring up Emily, when he's like, you know, I don't even remember that relationship, but I'm pretty sure that, you know, all this happened and she's my family. How do you do that and all this?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, thank God, because I still always hope that Emily is not really dead.
No, but even bringing up, like, Emily, would Emily want you to be doing this?
Yeah.
Yeah, even Nicholas is like,
Put that guilt trip on him really quick.
Yeah.
Because Emily is Nicholas's soul, so that's why, like, I can kind of believe his direction into going bad now that she's been gone and so long, and, you know, his string of relationships has been pretty terrible. And, yeah, Cheryl says this, and that's what I might be thinking, too, that Hayden might be Rebecca Shaw. You know, Natalia Livingston's other character that wound up being Emily's twin, so...
Oh.
So, yeah, thanks, Cheryl Hawkeye. I thought that as well. And that can tie into the Emily mention. And who knows, maybe Emily's been alive all this time and she was Rebecca, just brainwashed by Helena. We can make it even more.
That's very true. Absolutely.
Kendra says everyone is hating on Liz. We are not hating on Liz. We're telling the truth.
Yeah, all we do is report the
facts.
stories.
That's it. No hating going on.
No. I'll get it for Liz. When Jason did come over, I mean, she did take that moment to just apologize again, and that she knows that nothing that's happening is trying to rekindle any kind of thing. She knows that relationship, at least for the moment, is just kind of where it's at right now. So I'll give it up for Liz for that. So I'll give some props to Liz for acknowledging the current temperature of the relationship between her and Jason right now.
It took a lot for her crazy town to break that wall and acknowledge that their relationship is not good.
Because for a second when that first happened, I thought Jason was going to come over and accuse her of, like, you just faked this up with Jake just to get me over here, didn't you? And I'm glad it didn't go that direction.
I would have been okay with Jason doing it, but it's not in his character. He is one of those ask questions, you know, to see what the bottom it is. So, yeah, they did stick to the Jason Morgan character of not accusing her of being a liar,
Right.
Yeah.
even though she is.
But that's how we kind of know that he's slowly getting his memory back to talk about Emily.
Yes.
Because I was just like, okay,
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, definitely for that. And I just love seeing Nicholas all flustered after Jason said, no, do what you want. And he's just like, he would spend forever in jail, you know, it wouldn't break. He wouldn't break. He's not going to do it. So I love seeing somebody stand up for up to Nicholas. But on the plus side, that means there's a court case, which means there's going to be a lot of Diane time.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Waiting for that fire.
Yeah. Can she top the brain tumor in a jar defense? I cannot wait to see what happens out of this
know.
one. Yeah. So along with our well, we brought up Hayden a little bit there, so we'll just tie it in there because we're gonna talk about it later. But the whole Hayden Tracy thing, for some reason I thought like Tracy kind of said you're gone, and then all of a sudden makes that call and like you should have been working with me this whole time. I felt like
Yeah.
wait, did I miss a step on this conversation? I
Right.
thought you kind of cut her loose.
Right.
Yeah, because I think a few weeks ago, Tracy had been like, you're not really moving on this. I'm going to go on my own. And there may have been like one line in there that kind of made it seem like, nah, I'm still in it. I think it was like the very end where Hayden's like, no, I'm still on it.
Sure you are,
Yeah.
Hayden. Yeah, because nothing's been happening. But I love that scene because it was like Tracy the way I enjoy seeing Tracy. She's smart on it, ready just to put somebody's foot to the fire there to make him do something.
That's
Tracy
why we
want
need
what she
more
wants.
Tracy.
Yes.
She wants what
Yeah.
she wants. That's it.
Yeah.
And she knows how she wants it.
Oh,
So it's either you're going to play by her game or you're not.
yeah. And it was nice to see both that side, just like the just the business player, the conniver right there, but then also seeing a little bit of the softer side with her interaction with Laura as they're just kind of reminiscing about their relationship with Luke.
Yeah, to me, Tracy wasn't even on that much this week, but her two scenes with Laura and then with Hayden were some of the highlights of the week, and that's why we need more Tracy. Give her. I mean, I like this EOQ storyline, but I feel like we only see it once a week. So ramp that up. And to me, I loved how Tracy was kind of blackmailing Hayden. That's classic Tracy. We need more of
Yes.
that, showing what she's got, and that she hasn't lost it, after with Luke. And yeah, that's why it transitioned, with that Laura scene, them both talking about Luke and being alone and, really relishing in that. Really, that was one of the few scenes I've liked of Laura's in a while because she's been, thrown into that Nicholas Liz lie, and it was sad to see, her character kind of ruined. But then this scene with Tracy, it's like that's where they should go. Maybe they should be friends because they were friendly and caring of one another.
I have the same question as Gabriella C. Who is Jay Dover that Tracy mentioned? I was thinking about that too. Like, who is that?
I don't know. It's not a name that
Yeah.
immediately popped up
we
to me.
know that we're gonna have a new character soon, maybe.
Yeah, there's something going on. Yeah, that's true because I feel like I did not recognize that name. So
If anyone knows, can you comment in the
there you go.
Yeah.
chat room, please?
And usually the scenes with Tracy and Laura, at least when Luke was involved, were very antagonistic, at least towards Tracy towards Laura
Yes.
on that. But this was nice to have just an interaction where there was no antagonism at all. It's just two people talking and just showing compassion towards each other,
Right.
which I liked.
Yeah, I mean, they need more, nice scenes like that because, now that Luke is gone, I mean, Tracy and Laura have nothing to be antagonistic about. I mean, because they both, actually share stuff like caring about Lulu. And so, yeah, it was odd that they really didn't mention Lulu. But other than that, I thought the scene was perfect. And I'd like to see more of this Tracy and Laura kind of friendship.
Yeah. Now, since they didn't talk much about
Yeah.
Lulu, why don't we take a minute to talk about Lulu at all? So we've got Lulu, Dante, and Johnny.
I don't want to talk about Lulu.
Okay, I'm
She
sorry.
still has not learned her lesson about lying, obviously, because she keeps lying about everything. And that's how she got in the position that she's in now.
But she thinks she has the moral high ground because she did not sleep with somebody. So she feels like, no matter what, I didn't sleep with anybody. I may have made out a little bit with Johnny, which I know Lacretia
Yeah.
enjoyed immensely, but I didn't sleep with anybody, so I'm better than you, Dante.
Well, that attitude's a little annoying, but Lulu is winning this week because Johnny Sakara. Like, there were several scenes of Lulu, and then the fact that Dylan came at the end into that, like, hey, Dante thinks we slept together. Oh, is it Johnny?
Huh.
Like, yeah, those two fighting over you, how can you go wrong? I mean, the scene with her and Johnny where he's holding her after Dante had left, and, she's like, he hates me. Like, I really felt for Lulu in that scene because at that point, she is just... she wasn't really doing anything, and they're not married. You know, he's the one that's pushed all that. So that time, I really did feel for Lulu.
Cheryl, I agree with you 100%. I am hating this whole Dante, Lulu, Dylan, this whole storyline between them.
Yeah, well,
I just feel like it's empty.
Because I don't need another scene with Lulu coming up to Johnny saying, "What are you doing to get rid of Valerie?" Like,
it's empty.
Okay, we get it.
Empty.
All right. Yeah, when your characters are telling you that this is taking too long,
right,
then the story is taking too long.
Right.
Let's just pull the trigger on it and go. And
as long as Johnny Sakara doesn't go with it, I'm okay with that.
No, no, definitely. I'd rather keep Johnny around in the mix for sure. But I mean, I don't see what. So they're gonna his plan about like what, revealing photos, like blackmail photos.
Yeah.
Is that what they're gonna do, or just show photos of her talking to a notorious gangster?
Well, yeah, that's what he said. It was to make her look, establish a relationship, make it look like she's getting a payoff from Johnny to not turn him in as a fugitive. So that's how he explained it. And I'm like, that's actually kind of clever. I mean, he's almost outing himself, but all this little plan he's working to do it, and it's shady for sure, but yeah, it's not like he's killing anybody. It's not like he's stealing anything. But he's still cute.
I like Lulu calling him on it.
Yeah.
Like, how many times can you just bump into her and give her money?
Yeah.
How many times do you think that can happen before she gets idea that this is suspicious?
Let's move on with the story, people.
Even Johnny's saying like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, maybe you're right. I don't know.
Yeah, so even they're questioning it. Yeah, because here's the thing, because I like Valerie, and kind of, now that her and Dante are done, it's like, let's give her more to do. Like, have her involved. Like, maybe Jordan mentor her as a cop, since Nathan's nowhere to be found. But, and that's why Dylan is much better off in the Crimson with Maxie's storyline than Lulu. And unfortunately, it leaves Lulu and Dante back together and out of our way, because everybody else needs something to do.
Yeah, because I mean, certainly we know how much, at least right now, Maxie keeps saying that she loves Nathan. Like, it's Nathan this, Nathan that. But when she's there having that scene with Dylan, it's like, you didn't sleep with Lulu, did you? Felt like more like a jealousy almost comment as opposed to
like that.
Yeah, and so that's why I chose to interpret it. It's like, all right, yes, please, let's have those two together.
Yeah, because, I mean, Ryan Pivey is getting a lot more work, which is why Nathan's not on the show. But, I mean, I'm kind of feeling like he might actually leave. And so I don't want it to be like, Maxie moping for months, because, her and Dylan are really building a relationship. And, that'd be a lot better in a nod to history with Georgie than this whole Dylan, Lulu, Johnny, Dante quadrangle. Because this has always been my problem with the character of Lulu, is no matter what, is that Maxie and Lulu are always rivals, but it always winds up with Maxie not getting any of the attention. And it's like, why? Maxie is way better than Lulu. And it'll always be like 4 guys for Lulu, 1 for Maxie. It's just not believable.
Cheryl, you're so funny. She said Valerie should hook up with Curtis so we can see Donnell Turner shirtless too.
I'm cool with that.
Well,
or Johnny, because Valerie and Johnny.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah.
So funny.
Because we can see Johnny shirtless.
Yeah, I mean, I have to admit, like, Nathan's been gone so long that I've pretty much forgotten about about his character in the mix. And I feel like you're right. Like, he doesn't really have much to do, even when he's on the show currently.
Did he leave for a reason, or was it kind of?
Yeah, he's currently doing a lot of work, like TV shows and Hallmark movie. I think I saw him in. Okay. So yeah, he's actually working, which is good. We want Ryan to be successful.
Absolutely.
But yeah, Nathan's really not missed.
No, which is a shame. I mean, because they have a storyline for him they could activate at any time, which is like who his true father is, and that's just a storyline that's just sitting there and could be pulled at any time and you can make happen. But they've been sitting on it for almost a year, I think.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So sadly, nothing good on that. A couple of other storylines that happened this week, though. We've got Paul, Anna, and Jordan. So there we go. Yeah, we finally see, like, all right, Anna and Jordan coming together.
That's what I love.
Anna and Jordan coming together.
Like,
yes.
There it is, right there.
Yeah, because I really like Jordan, and I'm glad that they are really playing this relationship with her and Anna, like, working together, being 2 women that are, involved in law enforcement. So I'm like, I wouldn't mind Valerie being in that mix, too, because it's nice. Yeah.
They can say that.
Because,
this is that grown woman stuff that's going on right now between Anna and Jordan. I'm liking it.
And we also get a little love for Jordan this week. A little spark there with Andre as well.
Dr. Maddox.
I'm just mad that Anna and Dr. Maddox
I was bummed on that too.
I thought they would get together.
like, oh my God, why did they do that?
I thought that was really happening. So when all of a sudden he's on a date with Jordan, I'm like, what? When did that happen?
I thought they were going to give Jordan to Curtis and, Maddox and Anna, but...
Who knows? It may be a love triangle with Jordan, Anna, and Dr. Maddox. I would hate to see it ruining their friendship, though. So because it's like, what are you going to do with Anna?
I was so upset when I found out it was him.
Because how much in that scene I was trying to figure out, was she just uncomfortable because she's been his patient before?
Right.
And then how much it was like a potential, like, oh, I thought we had kind of a little something, huh?
Right. Because I even seen chemistry when Maddox and Anna was talking to each other. And I was just like...
And when you've already had those scenes where they did that little meet cute back at Patrick's place for dinner and stuff, like, why would you give me those kind of scenes if you don't want me to start thinking that there's something there?
Yeah, exactly. So I kind of wonder if maybe this will be a short-lived and kind of push Anna and Dr. Maddox more together, since her and Jordan are friends. Because like Jordan said, it's just keeping it casual. It's not like there's anything there yet. So to me, I don't think it would cause too much of a problem with their friendship. But I still hope that they bring Michael Easton back as John McBain for Jordan. As I said.
Please. Oh.
Okay,
because they met at a police thing. I was like, I know it's not going to happen, but could it be John McBain? And they're like, no, Dr. Maddox. It's like, what was he doing at a police thing?
Oh, gosh. If I would have seen Michael Easton walk in there as John McBain, that would have been...
Okay, I understand now. I seen that Ethel said Curtis is Jordan's brother-in-law. So I get why that couldn't really match up, I guess.
Well, I mean, I guess weirder things. It's soaps. Yeah. Weirder things have happened, right?
How many brothers have been involved with the same woman?
Yes,
sisters,
that's right.
mother, daughter. We have Ava.
There you go.
Yeah. Oh, he's your brother-in-law. Like, this is a soap opera. I mean, it may be your cousin, and they still get married. Look at Adriana on One Life to Live. Her little cousin River. Oh.
And I guess the only other storyline we have is Kiki and Morgan have just like a little nice little get together and chat for a second about the status of their relationship.
Kiki and Morgan will be another Sonny and Carly.
I think so.
It will be.
Why do we have to have another?
I mean, they're getting up there. Someone's gonna have to.
Yeah, but
rise up, and I see those two kind of in the shadows. I think of.
But I think like Carly and Sonny, they're just like they can just really bump against each other. They can love, and then they can bump against each other. And I feel like Kiki doesn't have that kind of deceptive or duplicative spark that Carly has that can get her into trouble with stuff. She seems much more of a open and honest character for the most part. That I feel like I don't see that same. I mean, I could see them maybe in the sense that they're going to orbit around each other, but in terms of like their kind of chemistry as a couple, I don't see it that similar.
Yeah, because they're really not, they don't fight a lot. Like, to be honest, despite the whole thing with Ava, Kiki and Morgan don't really fight with each other. And that, to me, is always weird. And I think, like, Haley Aaron coming in as Kiki is kind of giving her a new life. And so I'd like to see her out of the Corinthos boys' orbit for a bit. Like, maybe in a different light. Like, and I like to see her working. That's really adding to the character. But... it really do a service to her, to not be around Morgan or Michael, and certainly not Dante.
Yeah, because I feel like the best way to really see, to really rejuvenate a character is to take them out of that kind of orbit they've been stuck in for so long. Break them out, introduce them with another character, and then you can see really cool different sides of that character come out. So it'd be great with Kiki to do that.
Yeah, just don't stick her with Crimson and ruin Dylan. That's all we ask. Anybody else I could see Kiki with, but in that little age range. As long as they're not related to Michael, like, that's not going to be weird. So.
And who knows? And certainly in the sense with Nathan being off canvas for a while because of Ryan Pivey's outside commitments, maybe if he had been still here that whole time, maybe because that whole thing being arrested, going through that whole the DUI charges kind of being dropped was kind of really just kind of brushed away. Maybe he was on the canvas. They could have had more chance to have some scenes together, and who knows? We've seen something kind of spark there.
Yeah, because I could see a little bit there because he was nice to her, and he could have treated her like a perp. But it's like, okay, we could see that, and also he's not related to Michael in any way, so it wouldn't be weird.
Well, I see Kendra said, "What purpose does Kiki have?" At first, I didn't think she had, any. We were all saying Kiki needs to go, but I feel like now she's kind of like leveling or almost trying to level Morgan out a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's sort of her role is to be Morgan's friend. Yeah.
Right. she's that support system that he kind of needs away from his parents being on top of him. So I see that now she's starting to have just a little bit more of a purpose on the show.
To always go with Morgan to a diner, have some coffee, and take some medication in front of you. That's yeah.
Basically.
It's like his accountability.
It's something, but...
Yeah, it's his accountability friend. That's basically, yeah, all right. So, yeah, I mean, I'd rather have that than see them get back into a relationship together. If that's one, if they can just keep it like this, I'm cool with that. All right, so I guess we'll. That was sort of like the week that was there. And Porch, look at that. I think we got
that was a lot.
Yeah, that was a lot of storylines this week. So we'll go on to our segments here. We each got our own segments. We're going to break it down, and I guess I'll start it off because with my segment, get him to the ER stat, and I cannot get enough of this one character this week. That's Olivia. I cannot talk enough about this ridiculous sweater photo that she brought into Alexis's house. I can't say enough how weird this character is being written right now. What happened to you, Olivia? I mean, certainly she's always been kind of off kilter. You know, she's had her premonitions, things like that. Which when was the last time we had a good Olivia premonition?
I know. I'd rather than bring that back because Lisa Losario is a really good comedic actress. Like I've seen her on Reno 911, Chuck. Like she is funny, and they let Olivia do that to an extent. But the premonitions were really good. Like Olivia weird scenes that were. I mean, that's believable on a soap. I mean, people seeing the future, and it gave her something to do. So I hate that they kind of took that away. So if they were to bring that back, and for the love of God, bring Ned back, just get her out of Julian's orbit. I know they share the kid, and like a Christmas scene every once in a while is fine, but she doesn't really fit with him.
No,
yeah.
I'm thinking this is a character that co-owns a major, I'm assuming, 4 5-star hotel there in Port Charles. So it deals with clientele, I'm sure from the very well-to-do to just, your regular, everyday clientele. So she's got to be able to be a savvy businesswoman. She's got her head together. And yet this, not picking up on any sort of social cues about how ridiculous she is. First with these sweaters, just barging in to floating rib with these sweaters. You got to see the sweaters. You got to see them. Then taking a photo, corralling that whole thing to happen, and then saying, all right, make me an 18 by 24 of this photo and put it in a great frame because I really need to take it over to his house and just set it up somewhere on top of the mantel.
Why can't it go in her house?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Yeah, none of Olivia's points in this make any sense, and it's like she's such a good actress
really
and a good character.
So hard to fit her in there somewhere.
Oh, and it's usually I never want to say like, oh, that person just needs to be in a relationship to kind of give them some sort of definition, but like what Chris was saying, like it never needed Ned more than now. Because that at least gave it some sort of focus to that character.
Yeah, and Stormy said, Olivia hated Julian so much she lied about the kid being dead. Now she's all up in his business for no reason. Yeah, that's the thing is it makes no sense for her behavior. And that's why it's like, writers, did you watch Olivia's scenes before? I mean, she's quirky and yeah, she's loud and pushy or whatever. She's, Italian. She's from Bensonhurst. That's what they do. I mean, because Sonny and Lois. Because to me, Olivia was always very similar to Lois in that aspect. So, yeah, like, let's keep Olivia like we know her. This annoying sweater crazed woman is, just say maybe she had postpartum and instead of being sad, she's crazy. Come up with something.
The only way I'll find any of this acceptable is if the GH writers decide to make this a yearly thing and that every year she has to come by with Julian and they have to wear a really ugly sweater and to get a photo. If they made that a yearly ritual, I would get on board with that.
It'll be okay.
Yeah, I think that
so
would work.
awful. I would love it. All right, so please, she's such a great character. Please, just fix her a little bit. Please, I beg you guys, just fix her a little bit. I'm just asking, just a little bit, just a little fix.
Just bring Wally back.
Oh, that'd be great. All right, please. I think we've said enough about that. Now let's go on to our next fantastic segment, Love in the Afternoon. With Ladine Corinthos.
Man, this week I had 2.
Oh, all right.
But I had Jordan and Anna, and I also had Nina and Franco. But I didn't know which one to choose, but I think I'm just going to go ahead and go with the Nina and Franco, only because they took so long to develop these two to finally come together that I felt I almost wanted to cry, to be honest.
Even the camera guy did, even the camera guy was taken aback because it was all shaky and like, what's happening here?
Like, I really, really, really love that they finally, and I'm hoping that maybe she kind of gets up out of that teenage mindset after that. Hopefully, she may, get some woman in her. So this week, Nina and Franco, you got it. Y'all got it. 8-1 right there.
All right, and now we move on to Lacretia there with our winner and loser of the week.
Well, I actually have a tie for the winner, and I mean, I've already been hinting at it with hashtag winning, because Jason, to me, won me this week because of his behavior, in the fact that he did not let Liz get in any bit. It's like, nope, this is about Jake. I'm his father. I'm here for him. We need to set up a formal custody agreement. It's like there was no love there for her, and I was so glad because I was so worried that they were going to have him feel sorry for her. And that's the problem with Liz, is everyone feels sorry for her. It's like, we're done. You know what you did was wrong. Own it, and then we'll like you.
I think she started owning up to it just a little bit. So I'm seeing that little bit of a progress with Elizabeth, but she's still on my naughty list.
And I don't know, in my head, I was imagining the revelation of that when it all came out was going to be so much more epic and disastrous, tons of fallout.
I was so mad that didn't happen.
But it hasn't really been like, I mean, she's not like the town pariah that we thought that she was going to be before all this came out, that she couldn't be walking anywhere without somebody saying, like, what did you do, you weirdo? Why'd you lie about it?
Yeah, and that's sort of disappointing because, like, even when there's scenes of Franco, him calling her that, it's like, we're not really seeing that. So if we could see that, like, it actually affect something other than her relationship with Jason, is why we might actually start to, care. But because it's just glossed over, we're done. I mean, so that's why Jason, to me, was winning, because he's not involved in that anymore. Right. And Lulu, sorry, because John Sakara, all those scenes, she was winning for me. Even after that breakdown over Dante hating her, it's like, well, and that's how I transitioned into the loser. Dante and Olivia, because it's, mother or son, and I always love their relationship, but they both need to check themselves before they wreck themselves.
Yes, girl.
Because, like, Olivia, I love you, but this crazy town with the sweater and this barging into Julie and Alexis' relationship, because you don't have one right now, is really getting on my nerves, and it's just, she deserves better. And same thing with Dante. It's like, you just are such a jerk right now. I mean, you were the new Sonny, you were your father like 10 years ago, and he was always blaming Carly for everything, and, Brenda and all this, although it was always Brenda's fault.
Well, I feel like Dante is just the master of like delivering something kind of like angry bit of outrage and then just walking away. Yeah. Not listening, giving that person a chance to respond, to say, no, Dante, you've got it wrong. It's really this, which could dissolve the whole tension of that scene. Right. But he just always like delivers some kind of angry thing and then just storms out. Like,
right. Ugh. Yeah, because to me, even like his scene with Morgan, is Morgan even pointed out, you kind of seem like a self-righteous jerk. Look at your marriage. Yeah, so I really like that Morgan called him out, because Morgan's actually becoming one of my favorite characters for being Debbie Downer and pointing things out all the time.
He's good.
Yeah, it's funny. But yeah, it's like, okay, thank you, Morgan. Somebody's point. And even Sonny, when he's talking to Dante, is like, dude, quit it. I mean,
yeah.
Dante's getting all this good advice and not taking it. I mean, the same thing with Lulu, but at least Lulu's up in Johnny Sakara's orbit, so that's fine.
That's the man. They're hard-headed.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of the men, let's go to Big Papa himself here. James Lott Jr.
Hey,
with the quote of the week. Look at that adorable shirt.
Hi, it's me, James Lott Jr. I am not there in the studio. I'm coming to you from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. My niece has a wedding today, and so I am here. But, of course, I'm thinking about you guys at GH Report. Couldn't not say anything, of course, this week. It was a nice week in Port Charles. So, I don't really have a quote of the week or a line of the week, but I kind of do. It's not a specific line or a quote or a sentence. It goes to Felicia for actually having any lines as she showed up. So, it's kind of nice to see her. Christina Wagner, we love having you on the show. Use her more. So I'm giving her the honor this week just because she's on the show. Actually was there. I will be back next week. Thanks for watching. You guys are doing a great job, and I'll see you later.
Look at that. I think he's forgotten our names. He's been gone so long, he's forgotten our names. Just like the guys at the GH Report. Thanks. James, come on.
He's tied up at the moment.
Yeah, look at that.
I got your back, James.
Oh, come on. It's Ladine, Lacretia, and Frank, James. That's who we are. Come on. Please don't tell us that 2 weeks in Pittsburgh and Florida have made you forget us. Come on.
I spent a whole week in Vegas, James. I should be the one forgetting.
All right, so we've got some hot news and gossip here coming up here. More on the news segment here. We've got a couple great new additions here to the GH report. James has mentioned that he's going to be doing some new GH mini spotlights here. He's going to be doing them right here at AfterBuzz right now, which is going to be really cool. Great new backdrop and everything for that. Lacretia's joining in on the fun as well, doing her own little mini segment. Lucretia, what's it going to be about?
It's called Dirty Deeds, and they are done dirt cheap in Port Charles. I know a lot of you guys in the chat always mention, when we reference old times, just like on the show, what is the relationship with these characters? Who did what to who? So, of course, my first Dirty Digs segment will be on my favorite character, Sonny Corinthos.
Yes!
Everybody's always asking, so what's the deal with Sonny? How did he get to this point and such hatred with some of us viewers?
No? Well, more specifically, Lacretia. Ladine will be doing her response mini segment there, hashtag Ladine Corinthos, where she just says the many ways that she's fallen in love with Sonny throughout the years.
Definitely.
And then it always ends with wedding bells between the. There we go.
I wish.
Other news coming in. We've already had some great guests here on the show. We're going to continue that trend in 2016 as well. We've got a couple great guests coming up. We're going to have, in fact, Anthony Montgomery is going to be here on Sunday, January 24th. Look at that. We've got a great picture of this that we can have Zach show up there. Anthony Montgomery looking all dapper.
Looking sexy.
Dapper.
Dapper. Look at that. All right. So, he did not get a. Look at that.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to pretend we're going to do a quick drawing here.
Anthony Montgomery.
Yes, little stick drawing. He looks like this, and then he's like this, and he's got legs, and he's got arms. Looks just like that. Look how handsome he looks right there in that little photo. There we go. That's Anthony Montgomery. He's going to be here in the studio January 24th. We're going to be talking to him about all things Port Charles there, as well as his career before Port Charles as well. What brought him over into General Hospital, into the soaps world? We'll find out everything you've ever wanted to know. So make sure if you have any questions that you'd love to have us ask Anthony Montgomery, make sure you tag us here on Twitter, the hashtag GH Report. Put it on our Facebook page as well. We'll get some great questions, and we'll run them by Anthony when he's here in the studio.
Yeah, maybe he really knows what was going to happen after the ending of Popular, since he was on the show. Huge cliffhanger.
Dun, dun, dun. Now, cliffhangers, that always leads to speculation and predictions about what's coming up ahead. So let's get into our predictions right now.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Ooh, there we go. Oh, look at that. I feel like Ladine's got a predictions face on. Everybody.
I know.
So look at that. Yes. She's tapping the chin, stroking it there. She's got some thoughts percolating in that head. Do you see the future, Ladine? What do you see?
What do you think?
I don't know, guys.
Oh, interesting.
See,
Okay.
this is why we need Olivia. She
Yes,
can
right.
see
Yes.
the future.
I honestly don't know.
No, I feel like Helena's not dead. I gotta feel like that she's not
There's
dead.
no way she's dead.
No way. And so I feel like everything that's happening with Jake is going to be some kind of gateway into figuring out that Helena's not really dead.
Yeah, and I kind of wonder if that's how they're gonna tie in Hayden and do an umbrella story with the ELQ, Nicholas, Jake. Because Jake owns part of ELQ technically. He's a Quartermaine. So I wonder if that'll tie in and then bring this and they figure out who Hayden is. And we're hoping Rebecca Shaw, who's really Emily, who's not really dead. Because for the love of God, Nicholas needs Emily.
Oh, yeah, there you go. It's
I mean, this is the obvious. I hope Sam and Jason ends back up together later on down the line.
Oh, yeah. They
I
went
know.
out for coffee finally.
Yeah, I predict that Sam's going to trip and Jason's going to catch her.
Hater!
I'm going out there with my prediction,
Now
you guys.
that's a hater move right there.
Yeah.
That's it.
We talked about it briefly, but I'll throw out that really easy, cheap prediction, as I mentioned briefly already, is that with Jason going to be having a big court case, Diane is going to be back on the scene. So,
I know.
And this better be more than what the tease that we got around Christmas time about that when he was going to be up for bail. This better be, I want to see some court scenes with Diane
We
really doing it.
did not talk about Sonny's leg moving.
Oh, yeah. Nah, that happened. Oh!
I am done. Done.
Yeah.
All right, how many times did you rewatch that scene?
Yeah.
I was looking really close. I was like, his leg moved. He's going to be walking soon. I was really excited.
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Well, and we even glossed about that. Is that whole scene there with that little movement at the leg, but then also tied into finally Michael telling Sonny the whole real deal about what went on with him and Sabrina.
But he never got out that it was Carlos' baby, though.
He did.
Yeah.
He got it.
I don't think Sonny heard it. I don't
Mm-hmm.
think Sonny heard him because of the commotion that went on the outside.
Yeah. Now, what do you think? Is Michael? Michael seems to be having second thoughts. He sees the struggles that Sabrina's going through, even though it was just Braxton Hicks.
Yeah,
As a nurse, you should know that.
Yeah, I know. I actually liked the Michael and Sabrina scene because this is sort of how it should be. Like, they finally fixed it by him knowing. So I'm like, okay. Like, because it was kind of like Michael is not a bad person. So he does care that something is wrong because he cares about Sabrina. So for him to come and be like, is everything okay? Like, I really liked that for Michael.
They had to fix it before she left. They had no choice.
But do you think, all right, we'll make a little prediction right now. Do you think Michael's going to change his tune and decide that he wants to help raise the baby with Sabrina?
I think it all depends on if Teresa Castillo is staying. I think that, since Michael really doesn't have anyone else on campus, that they're really pushing him towards in a relationship, I don't really see him getting into a new one unless they bring on a new character. So if she comes back from maternity leave, I could see them putting them back together if
I
they
hope
have no plans otherwise, and they're not really laying the groundwork for anything. But they could bring on Serena Baldwin or, somebody.
Oh, Serena Baldwin, that'd be fantastic. Now, I don't know, like, in terms of these scenes, like, how far in advance she shot those. Like, if she's already on maternity leave right now, because then I wonder, like, how long she's going to be out of pocket for the show if she decides to come back. Because if she's gone for a couple months, it's going to seem kind of weird to have that storyline just kind of just hanging up nebulously without any kind of firm decision from Michael.
Yeah, it is very odd. I mean, but they did kind of fix it this week because it's just been unbelievable. Her lying to Michael when, like he said, why? And I did like that they brought that up. He's like, I still don't get why. And we don't either, Michael.
Yes.
So, I mean, I wouldn't mind if they could do the relationship right, them putting them back together. But yeah, this whole, like, Carlos baby thing has just not been done well.
No, you just want to sometimes see a character just scream out, the writers made me do it.
Yeah.
And just they kind of really break the fourth wall, get really meta on you. So, any last thoughts from our people in the chat room about this week's goings on here in Port Charles?
Gabriella predicts that Sabrina might be kidnapped. I could see that, certainly with the Paul Carlos scenes. Yes. And now that he knows it's not a Quartermaine baby and everyone else will.
Like, what real way would they have Sabrina leave?
No, that would be interesting to see kidnapping. They would give Michael something to do, and they really kind of band together a little adventure for the Corinthos boys.
Okay.
You get Dante and Morgan, Michael. They go off on a little adventure. Sonny plays basically like Charlie and Charlie's Angels.
Oh, yeah.
Sits there by the phone, just makes phone calls.
Good morning, boys. I honestly like Frank's storyline there. We need to do that because, the Corinthos boys are cute together, especially when they were all sad sacks on Christmas. Yeah. So, that would be a good way to kind of keep that Michael and Sabrina, if she does come back, getting back together. Because, if they're all searching for her, so it obviously shows Michael still cares, and that could go on for months. They could run that forever. Because, Sonny being, on the phone in his wheelchair, telling him what to do because he's the mobster, that's hysterical.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've had I guess the last time we had some kind of on-the-road adventure was when Lulu and Dylan went to go help out Luke and Laura. So that's been a while. So it's been a while since we had a good one. Yeah, we need a little out of Port Charles adventure. That'd be a perfect one. GH Writers, you can take that one for free right there. Yeah, absolutely. Well, looks like we've reached the end of the show here, guys. Look at that. Talking about Port Charles, who knew it could be so much fun? Well,
we did it, James.
We did it. We did it for you, Big Papa. Look at that. Yes. All right, so we're wrapping it up here this week. Let's start off. Ladine, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Ladine_Harvey.
And you can find me anywhere on the internet, including Snapchat now. You spell it right. That's LACRETIALYON. No S's.
You can follow me on Twitter at HappyGoJackie, and then you can see me here in Los Angeles at I.O. West this coming Tuesday at 9:30, 10:30, and 11 o'clock. 3 back-to-back shows of improv comedy coming your way. Thanks so much for watching us here. Like us there on Facebook and iTunes. Follow us there with hashtag GH Report. We will see you next week right here on the GH Report.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.